On the flip side, SCOTUS, on the flip side, there was a appeal of the appellate court had struck down, had blocked some sections of, sweeping immigration reforms that President Obama had implemented. And the Supreme Court had this is the problem now. We've had a tied court now, 4-4, and this is what happens. We have the appellate court decision stands. That is the decision that ends up in that case. Now, it's not to say that in another district, another jurisdiction, someone else could not also bring a suit to challenge, but it becomes very difficult when we're talking about the federal government had to defend executive order from the president. It becomes very difficult now, though, in this instance, because it's not like it's just a private party, a private citizen bringing a suit, and some other private person can bring a suit someplace else. So what steps the DOJ will have to take, to get, if they can get around this, they may be able to have another crack. I don't know. But now I believe it goes back down to the appellate court. So it goes back down to appellate court with instructions. So we'll see what happens when it goes back to them upon remand. This is why we need a full court, because we don't necessarily get good law this way. We get a very patchwork, malarkey. And like I told you guys the other night, be on the lookout for the Texas abortion case, because that's potentially a case where either we end up with a deadlock, which leaves an atrocious situation in place in Texas, or we end up with potentially with not enough votes to overturn the lower court in that situation. So, this is the reason why we need people who are not just, appointments to pacify the right, because as we see with, I believe it was Breyer, in the Fourth Amendment case that just happened, who sided with the more conservative judges on the bench. And he's supposed to be a more progressive, more liberal appointee. So, yeah, so this is what we need to not have, SCOTUS nominees who are, consolation prizes for the right service, because there are some really serious issues that we need to address. And we need people who are going to be willing to stand up for us as a whole, and not just to keep intact systems of prejudices and limitations and restrictions unnecessarily.